They have these fountains. And so me and my sister, I mean, you'd assume if they're there, they must be safe. And we filled up our water bottle, but it was foamy. So we didn't really drink the water. I saw some other people drinking it. I don't know how they felt about that later in the day. But even if it's there for you to drink, that doesn't mean it's safe. And that's where we come in. We're Ware, and I'm Francois Morris.
I'm Harding Ryan.
And I'm John Bradley.
We're purifying the world one wrist at a time.
The individuals that we'll be selling to or targeting will be anyone who is constantly on the move, so international travelers, people who are constantly in places where they are unsure of the water or how the quality of the water. They're not at home with their sink, and as well as private well owners, which there is a large number of in the United States. We would be distributing bracelets to local stores, the stores that the individuals will be shopping at with their interests, such as outdoor stores or Home Depot, Lowe's, REI. We will be selling in bulk to humanitarian organizations in the case of a natural disaster, and it would be an emergency, and they would buy a large number of the bracelets, as well as religious missionaries if they were going on a trip to someplace where there would be people who they're in a less fortunate, a third world country, and they don't have water, they don't have access to, they don't have a confirmation of the quality of the water there.
All of our competitors, will all be indirect, and as you can see, they're all very bulky and not very travel accommodating. And with us, it's not like this at all. It's very travel accommodating.
Our UVP, unlike our competitors, ours are very practical. They're on your wrist. They're always with you. You don't really have to plan out, because nobody plans out to drink water. It's just something that you do. When you're thirsty, you go and you find water. But then in another place where the water isn't secure, you're also still not thinking about it. But then when you get to the water, it's on you, and you didn't have to think about it, and you could test it. They're convenient, they're fashionable, they're practical, and they're nice to look at.
Our total addressable market is around 95 million people in the U.S., which takes into account travelers and private well owners. And at $30 a piece, that will equal around $3 billion. Our serviceable addressable market is around 8 million people inside Texas, which also accounts for travelers and private well owners, and as well at $30 a piece, is about $250 million. Our marketing plan is to start local and expand. We want to start at events, like local events like at the Quarry, the farmers market. We will also reach out to local celebrities and political figures like Armie Hammer. Him and his wife, they own Bird Bakery here. So we want to know if we could do something related with them. We also want to do community social events as well, like farmers markets. And we want to start local and expand, and also do a social media campaign. And as that campaign grows, we grow with it.
So for our financial model, we will break even in month 8 for selling each bracelet for $30 a piece. In the first year, we will make an estimated $21,000 in revenue, and it will cost about $6 to make each bracelet. For our minimum viable product, we will be trying to push quality and reliability for it, and we will also be testing and trying to make it as convenient as possible, and we will be tracking our customers' feedback and opinions and how often they use the product. For our MVP timeline, we plan on having the MVP finished by March 15th before spring break and being able to put into customers' hands. Oh, and for the future, we also plan on putting a tablet into the bracelet that can disinfect water after testing it.
We are asking for $500 to put our creation to fruition. The $500 will be accounted for 7 different types of tester strips, 3 different types of material. We will be able to test the accuracy of our strips with it, and yeah.
With the $500, we will also be able to make multiple varieties and many different bracelets of each variety to put to sell to customers, and we can track each group of customers that we sold the different bracelets to decide on a final product using those different criteria. And We are Ware. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
So is it a strap that holds the strips, or is the wrist strap itself?
Yes, sir. It's a strap that holds the strips. It's basically a bracelet with a strip dispenser built in that you can refill over and over again with the strips that you can buy from us.
That you should have said in the very beginning,
Yeah,
because
I think.
just for going future, I had no idea what, I was not clear.
You were not alone.
I
was
didn't know
trying
what
to
the
figure out
product
what it
was, because what you just said, make sure to say that, because that was perfect
Yes, ma'am.
to
And you need a
clarify.
visual too.
A visual, yeah, a slide on the
You
here's,
don't really know what it's gonna
right,
look like yet.
right.
You still need to go through the prototype, get something up there that we can see.
Yes, ma'am.
So your product is the holder of the strip. You're not coming up with water tester strips.
Yes, sir.
Is that
Well,
right?
in the future, we currently, of course, we don't have the technology to make our own strips that are accurate enough to sell, but we are planning in the future on using our own strips along with the bracelet.
So do these strips exist? Is there a strip
Yeah.
I can use that can tell me whether not just tell me what the pH of the water is and that kind of stuff?
Yes, sir. And they're sold.
Does it tell me if the water is safe?
Yes, sir. They sell strips like these. They're in big boxes, not very travel ready, and they're really used for testing in houses and stuff like that. But with our strip, we can test any water anywhere in any place.
because you're taking it with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And is it because I'm looking to see, that's a lot of different strips.
Yes.
So, is there one I mean, are you narrowing it down to how many you would put in the bracelet, and how do you know
Which one do you?
which one to use?
Yes, ma'am. That's where the different varieties of our bracelet come in.
Okay.
We like to make different varieties of bracelets to add different types of strips into them and the different varieties of strips from different brands and things like that. And we'd also like to, in the future, because the strips are really just paper with compound put onto it, we are planning on making, I guess, squares of each compound on a single piece of paper, and we could convert 14 strips into maybe 2 strips like that.
So the problem you are solving, I'm going to distill this down a little bit, okay? The problem you are solving is carrying a small paper strip, for a very specialized period of time,
Well, yes, sir, we are.
right?
Yes, sir. But we also, I was mentioned in the customer segment slide, but it's not just for travelers. We are also looking to push it for private well owners, because there are 0.8% or 8% of the American population owns a private well, and private wells are not regulated by the EPA.
Is it a problem for that private well owner in their own home to carry the strip around?
Not necessarily, but it would be easier to have a bracelet or something smaller, something that takes up less space for smaller homes or smaller buildings.
I think you need to focus on your problem. I think you need to focus on the size of this problem. Because, with this logic, you could have a bracelet that carries almost anything.
Yes, sir.
Advil, you name it. And the strips, I don't believe require a whole lot of specialization when it comes to carrying. So either you have a little bracelet that can carry lots of different things, and maybe there's a business there.
I do think one area you may want to consider, if you don't mind, it hit me as you're talking about it, is so particularly us in Texas, lots of us vacation in Mexico, that
Yes, sir.
could be interesting. And that is more just, we're all kind of paranoid we're going to blow our vacation by not drinking bottled water or somehow.
Yes, sir.
So that could give peace of mind for people vacationing in a place like
Yes,
that.
sir.
That's one thought, just given the proximity. And, I mean,
So it wasn't included in the presentation, but we have also been starting to look into the military, because soldiers, I mean, when you're out in, I don't know where, and you're drinking water, you don't know where the water is, soldiers could have on them a water testing, the bracelet or something on them, as gear to test the water, or whatever conditions they're in.
So I think you also need to think about whether testing the water is the real solution, or going ahead and taking care of the water, right? When you're backpacking, you often take little iodine drops or something like that, that you don't even have to test, you don't even test the water. You just go ahead and put it in there and shake it up and let it sit for 20 minutes, and you know your water's clean. Then I didn't have to test it. I just went ahead and solved the problem.
Yes, sir.
And made sure that it was safe for me to drink. So I'm trying to figure out what is the real value in testing the water if then I can't, if I'm still thirsty and I'm at Pompeii and it's hot and I can't find a water bottle. Knowing that that water is bad is one thing, but what's even better is being able to turn that water into something that I can drink.
And they have iodine tablets that'll
Yeah.
do a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff. So
So
you've got
include
small
that,
testers
yeah.
and small, things that can actually get a little
The
feedback
thing
there.
about that is the iodine testers don't actually, I mean, they disinfect the water from microbes, but they don't actually clean the water of chemicals. Like lead, it would be a common chemical found in America because of lead pipes, and that would test for lead. Iodine will not cancel out lead. You'll still get lead poisoning by drinking lead-infected water, even if you put iodine in it. And that's what
Yeah.
we want to do, is put a iodine tablet in it, but also be able to test for the chemicals in the water.
Right. I'd focus on the problem and make sure you think there are, real simple. Will people pay you money to create something to carry, something as small as this? I mean,
Yes, sir.
is it that big of a problem?
Yeah, I think at a minimum, you would have to have, to Mr. Sauer's point, I mean, you may put the strips in there so that, and because you can only fit a couple of tablets and, so you test it and if it's okay, you don't need the iodine, so you could save it versus, I mean, you could take that approach, right? And it preserves the iodine, so it lasts longer, like if you're on a vacation or something. But, there's got to be more than just testing it. There's got to be the solution, right? You've got to have, I mean, if you're going to focus on that.
Yeah, I think that's one way. The other way is just a peace of mind product. Going on vacation with my family, I'd hate for something to happen. At least I know that I'll be able to tell, I don't know,
Yes, sir.
I mean.
And
peace of
maybe
mind
that's
would-
it.
just-
Yeah,
It's just a reminder to always have it. I mean, maybe I'm missing another
maybe it's the
value
marketing of
proposition
it,
here.
yeah.
And another time I actually did get sick, I was in Mexico City, and like an idiot, I filled up my ramen noodles with the water from the sink, and then I was like puking for the rest of the day.
Sure, I don't, bad water is not the question I'm
Yeah.
asking. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Testing is good, treatment is good. It's just how much value are you adding by, putting it in a bracelet? And if it's not that specialized, then your bracelet has a much larger use. If you can come up with a neat little bracelet that carries things, why limit it to water? Why not Advil? Why not pills? Why not all the little things that are out
Motions,
there?
I mean,
You name it.
things related to travel, really, right? Is that kind of your thought, or?
Have to be.
Yeah, I mean, could be I don't know, EpiPens are kind of big, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Do you have an idea of what the bracelet, how big it would be, or have you looked into that at all?
Similar to like a Fitbit maybe.
Okay, it just has something that you can pop open, or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can pop open and inside has everything. Okay.
We also thought that maybe eventually we can even move on to selling like on the Apple Watch and things like that. You can interchange the bracelets. You can even have a bracelet for the Apple Watch or the Fitbit that has the water testing container on the like a third-party bracelet for the Apple Watch. And so that way you're not carrying around an extra bracelet. You already have your Apple Watch, and then there's the band that has the testing.
And it may be that you work with more travel agents, because I know at our company, we have a part of a group in India, which is, and so when we send people there, you definitely have an issue with water, right? So it may be that if this is something that you look at, it's gonna be for like Mexico and places that have those issues, and you may try to focus on that. And talking to them a little bit about handing those out or something, I don't know. Okay,
Thank you.
good job.